It's not Friday. It's Tuesday, but there are midweek games. I really thought it was the weekend. That's depressed me. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds. Evening, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Grumpy Old Reds, where the oldest member is still banned until Sunday. So we can still have Rob on. Hope you guys do well. Make sure you've hit the like. You know the drill. Make sure you subscribe. If you know what this hype button is, I still have no idea about it. Hype it up. Hype it, like it, subscribe it. Just made something up there. Make sure you check out the sponsors OK jerseys. Get your football tops for 15 quid. Use code FFTV for 8% off. I always recommend to go one size up. And let's jump into it. Big up to Tony with the 35 months. Shout out to you, Tony. All right, so what we're gonna do tonight, we're gonna cover off a bit of the Brighton game, even though it feels like so long ago. I know we with you freaking Hollywood superstars, we've had to rearrange it for tonight rather than last night. So we'll cover that off. But then we got to look ahead to Wolves, because is it playtime? Like, do you reckon they'll tweet that back out, man? That little playtime thing at Wolves. You don't remember it?
I wouldn't be risking anything, to be honest, the kind of season we've had.
Man, I'm actually worried about tomorrow. I don't want to
be. I knew you say that, but you said that when we were 5-0 up against Brighton last season. So
yeah, and I was right. I was forward projecting 12 months, and look what happened.
I love how you tried to push. Well, you tried to create a narrative on the last stream about we're some sort of bogey team for them. Last 6 fixtures, they've won 3, drawn 2, and lost 1.
No, I was saying at home.
7-0 was an anomaly, mate. But
no, and then we beat. Let's not do this memory lane. I can't even remember. We beat them the season before, didn't we? Anyway, but all right, let's talk about the game quickly. I don't know, man. Like, do we need to talk about Morata? Does anyone think he starts? Do we need to cover old ground? I think I've cussed him out enough for the whole of the fan base. But
one thing I will say, I'm not blaming Morata for that.
Thank you, Brinley. Thank you.
Not entirely, anyway. Sorry, I'm not entirely blaming Morata for that second goal, because that ball should never have got to him. What the hell was Milenkovic doing? You don't let that ball drop over your head. He could easily headed that ball. That ball should never have got anywhere near our penalty area. Obviously, what happened afterwards from Morata was an absolute balls up. But that ball, I blame Milenkovic for that second goal. He should have cut that header out. If you watch it back, there's no way that he didn't even jump for the header. He should have cleared that. He cleared every single ball before that, and he let that one go. So I'm not putting it entirely on Morata.
What happened to Jair Cunha? Does he not even make the bench anymore?
He was on the bench.
Was he on the bench? Because I mean, he's looked pretty good, hasn't he? I mean, despite the Morata thing, which the Morata thing was the Morata thing, I thought it was highly disappointing to concede before half time when we'd somehow managed to go 25 minutes without conceding when they should have been about 5-0 up. So to come in at half time and lose that goal was really disappointing. But the thing I'm most worried about, well, not really worried, but starting to wonder about, is how is Hutchinson not starting? Because Endoy has proved time and time again that although he looks brilliant for the international team,
listen to what I said.
He's not doing it for Forest. So Hutchinson has to start. He has to start next match, Hutchinson. And if not, then why not? Because people are saying, "Oh, super sub," but he looks by far our best winger. I mean, if we can get Hutchinson playing and then Baka comes back and one of them goes on the left and one on the right, that is a dangerous front line with Jesus ahead of it. And the only other thing I wanted to bring in to begin with is the stat yesterday. Brighton, the most shots ever in a Premier League game in the first half, which I think just shows you how poor we were in that first half. So yeah, most shots ever by a Premier League team. I think it was 14. It was 13 or 14 shots in 45 minutes, most ever by a Premier League team. So clearly the players snapped out of it after 25 minutes, and we started to play some half decent football again. But he's really got to sort out those wingers. And I think Wolfie said it, like, why wait till half time? It was clear to see that I would have been making changes after 20, 25 minutes.
Well, if it had been Nuno, he would have waited till about 78 minutes. But
that's true.
For me, it was a tale of 2 really poor performances one from Morata and the other from Endoy, both positions in which we have other great options, which we never seem to use. Now, I can remember the Sunderland game where we did nothing for about 75 minutes, and then Hutchinson came on, and suddenly we were all over them. That was under Ange Postecoglou. So why is Dyche doing this? Because the evidence was there from before he even took over, and all the more so because Hutchinson didn't play against Malmo, so he's fresh. He should have been unleashed on Brighton because he's got to make up for missing that game. Also frustrating, I can see that he's picked the same team as he picked for the away game at Liverpool, but that team was a team, it seemed like he was setting up to contain Brighton. And with Domingos on one side, you've got no winger, and then when Endoy's having a bad game, you've got no wingers at all. So you set up to contain somebody, and then you just invite them to attack you. And that's all that they did. So while Postecoglou was manager and Murillo was injured, we are seeing more of Morata than we really want to this season. And it is very frustrating when there are other options available. The crazy one for me is that Zach Abbott, who is always brilliant whenever he plays, is apparently a centre-back, and yet we have never seen him play at centre-back. Why not even give him a go if you don't want to play Jair Cunha?
You can't chuck Zach Abbott straight into a Premier League game at centre-back for that reason. I agree.
Straight into an FA Cup semi-final.
Yeah, no, but we had no right backs.
Okay, but he is far more agile and on it. He is far more agile and on it than Morata. Morata turns like a tanker, and he's strong and he's good in the air. But my God, he's got bozo moments in him. I mean, you got to remember, it was him that got done when we let in that equaliser against Leicester that effectively cost us Champions League. We've got a litany of Morata.
That was Murillo. That wasn't Morata. That was Murillo.
It was when Leicester scored their second
Morata,
goal.
I'm sure.
It was Morata.
Isn't that when Ant said get rid of Murillo or something like that?
No, that was Everton. You're thinking of the Everton.
It was the Leicester player, the one that they had on loan. He did Morata and he equalised. And that cost the Champions League. We have seen enough of Morata to know what he's good at and what he's for. He is not a starter. We've got two other, I think, brilliant young players who I think that we really need to give some game time to know whether we have to actually sign.
But Rob, was that the type of game? But was that the type of game to be bringing other centre backs in to try them out? I don't believe it was. I would have done what we did last season against them at home. I would have had 3 centre backs. We know how Brighton play. They try and play through you, and exactly how they got their first goal, because that gap was created between the right back and the centre back. They all came across, but the right back didn't come across, and they got that overlap. That's what they tried to do to us last season. At one stage, we had 4 attackers on the edge of our box who were trying to overload us. We had 3 centre-backs last season, and we had 2 deep-lying midfielders as well. We held them out, and then we hit them on the counter-attack over and over again. It should have been a similar setup yesterday, and I would not have been bringing in youngsters and testing them out in a back 2 yesterday on the weekend. That's not the type of game for it. You should have gone 3 centre-backs, huh?
But neither Abbott or Cunha would have been making their debut. So
it's not the point. It's not the point.
It would have been at centre back. Look, let me just bring some balance to this, okay? Let me just because you guys are saying you're right on what you're saying about Morata, but are you saying he was wrong to have selected him in the first place? That's a bit I'm not understanding. Because if I'm being honest with you, I think Morata has been pretty good at centre back in the previous games he's played so far.
Can I just address a couple of morons? What do you mean we're talking in hindsight? It's called a review. It's called talking in hindsight. You absolute muppets. Honestly, listen. Freaking listen.
Big up Brindley, man.
You lot out. No, he's a muppet, man.
No, but do you get my point? But in a way, I am kind of saying what they're saying there. Like, were any of you screaming when you saw the team sheet? Why the hell has he played Morata instead of Zach
I
Abbott
would
or
say,
instead of
why
you?
did he leave Murillo on so long against Malmo?
Correct.
That's a self-inflicted injury.
Correct.
That is.
That's where I would have gone with it. Yeah, absolutely. Because why did we need to see Murillo in the left back position against our last European opposition? I don't think he needed to. Not against Malmo. We could have put anyone at left back against Malmo. So I think that's where the mistake happened. I think he was protecting Murillo on a weekend in the hope that these next 2 games he gets the results. Now, I'm willing to overlook the weekend if we win these next 2 league games. But if we fail up on these next 2, then I'm not happy at all. I kind of gave him a little bit of a pass because I tried to G him up. I mean, we had 3 wins in a row. There's nothing more you can say to that. But the weekend was back to square one with Dyche, and this is the failings of Dyche that I think a lot of people are overlooking. He doesn't have too many styles of play. I'm just disappointed that with the squad that he has got now, he isn't trying to do a few different things. But like I said, the setup for me was wrong on the weekend. Against that kind of team who are going to have possession and they're going to have possession high in your own half, you're going to have to overload. You're going to have to overload your midfield or your defence. And we didn't do that. And they found, like Ben said, they had a 25-minute spell where they could have scored 4 or 5 goals.
The thing is, though,
we just got away with it. It could have been a lot worse. And you put a youngster in that. You throw an Abbott or
even
for
the match.
Say again.
You didn't call for a back 3 before the match when you did your predicted team.
No, I would have gone for a back 3. Absolutely, we went for a back 3 last season.
You didn't, man. I'm saying you didn't.
No, but that's because we were deciding between whether we're going to go for them or not. And I would have gone for them. I wouldn't have sat back. But you got to look at it that if you got Murillo out, you need that extra defense. I went with Murillo in there, and if Murillo was in there, I would have been more satisfied. I certainly wouldn't. He wouldn't have made the mistake that Morata made. But I'll go back to a point that ball should never have gone over Milenkovic's head. And for the first goal, it was Savona that was dragged out of position, and he didn't close that gap. So you can't blame Morata for that one either.
Yeah, but the thing
Morata
is that
wasn't the issue. Morata wasn't the issue. He got caught out, but he wasn't the issue.
There's a lot of blame being placed solely on the defence. I thought one of the biggest problems is that we weren't controlling the midfield.
Yeah.
Every game since, or nearly every game since Sean Dyche has come in, we've controlled the midfield pretty well. Anderson, Sangare, even Morgan Gibbs-White, they've all looked good recently. That first 25 minutes against Brighton, they were getting nothing. And the ball was either going over the top or it was a through ball through the middle. And they were basically playing as if we had no midfield for the first 25 minutes. And then obviously all the pressure falls on the defence and the defence get blamed. But I think, like I said earlier, at some point, for whatever reason, they seem to snap into playing properly from about the 25th minute. But you know, it's you can blame the defence, you can put the blame on Morata, but the whole team in that first 20 minutes, however long it was, were not great. And I think it's a bit unfair to blame the manager because the lineup wasn't that bad considering.
No, I think you can, like, for me, what you just said there is bang on. I thought we were too deep off the bat. And they were just playing through us with real quick one-touch passes. They were all just deadly accurate passes. And we just kept dropping off and dropping off. The press wasn't there. That's the other thing that annoyed me about the game. There's just no press in there. And I do agree. I didn't think Sangare or Anderson had their best game. And I actually think Sangare is at fault for the first goal. He let the runner go. He should have tracked him. What's his name? That Steve Cooper guy. Steve DeCooper, whatever he's called. So I don't know, man. It's done though. I guess what you're saying there is like, okay, are you doing the happy clapper stance? We could have lost to Liverpool and beat. No, I'm just saying, like, are you doing the scenario of? I'm not, because I'm kind of doing it a little bit. I was expecting us to draw or lose to Liverpool and beat Brighton, but we've done it the opposite way around. So happy clapper it up. If we beat Wolves, then same difference. That kind of stance.
Yeah, to an extent, but also I do think he was protecting a few players yesterday. I still don't understand the Hutchinson decision, and I think we can have a debate on that because I think we all felt he'd set it up in terms of the minutes that he'd been given him in previous league games that he would be starting him on Saturday, and I still don't understand that decision not to. You're playing other players out of position, like Dominguez, for example. If you'd played Dominguez in the central midfield 3, it would have been more effective. But to try and like get him hanging out there and coming back to support the wing backs, it just didn't work. And I just feel like his tactics were wrong. I wasn't bothered with a lineup. I was bothered with the tactics, and I just think he got his tactics wrong on the weekend. But if after these next two games, Wolves and Everton, we win these next two, then Brighton's forgotten about. To be honest, we still would like the City Ground to become a fortress, but on the weekend, I could hear the fans weren't behind the club. They were, I don't know, they weren't really buzzing yet. The atmosphere just hasn't been steady over these last few home games, for example, and it needs the players to show something on the pitch to get the fans going, and I don't feel they are at the moment. So I can forgive, like I said, I can forgive the weekend if we win our next two games, and that's all important.
Rob, let's talk about this Hutchinson thing. Let's go into it with the Endoy thing. Is everyone now going to stop cussing me down about Endoy?
No, because you didn't recognise when he had a good game. Even when he was playing well, you were saying he was rubbish, right?
Yeah.
Now,
When did he play well?
That game he had on Sunday was shocking. There was a moment in the first half where he was stumbling over the ball. He was put clean through on the wing, and then he kind of tackled himself and stumbled over the ball and passed it to the defender. Mm-hmm. I can't remember exactly what minute it was on. I was just thinking, God, the optics of that are terrible. When you've got Hutchinson sitting on the bench, the problem I think is that Dyche is a defensive manager and he likes Endoy because he does the defensive part of the game well. But when he's playing like that, he offers no outlet. And my concern, he
didn't defend on Sunday.
We're so far short of where we could be, right? If we had a front three of like Callum Hudson-Odoi on form, Hutchinson on form, and Chris Wood on form, there's a lot of goals in that. But we have none of them playing in that game. And really, I know that Jesus had that one chance, which he probably should have put away.
But it was a very good save. Let's be fair, it's a very good save.
Too low. The shot was too low.
You got to remember, Chris Wood scored a hat-trick against Brighton last year. He's now missed 9 games since his injury, and he hasn't played for Dyche. I know Crypto is a big New Zealand fan, but even you, Crypto, must be thinking now, did Chris Wood need to get injured 9 games ago in a friendly for New Zealand against Norway after they've already qualified for the World Cup? Was it that important?
He's out for a while longer, by the way. He's not shortly back.
We are not going to be.
This is the annoying thing. This is the annoying thing. People are going to say Rob talks sense, but that wasn't a question. We weren't asking you about Wood. He was asking you about Endoy. And you've gone on to Wood, but somebody will say in the chat about Rob talks sense.
I was right.
I answered that about Endoy. The problem is that we had no outlet in that game and no cutting edge. We could have played for another hour and we wouldn't have scored.
Yeah, it felt like that.
Mm.
But the thing is that when you've got no goal threat, I mean, if you look at the 7-0 we had last year, who did the damage in that game? Wood and Elanga. When Brighton saw our team sheet...
MG-Dub.
Well, yeah, but when Brighton saw our team sheet, they must have thought, oh, brilliant. This is a completely different opponent.
Pick up on a point that you just said. Elanga last year, or I can't remember what it was, might have been the season before. I think it was Elanga and Morgan Gibbs-White had 50% of our total goal contributions. Now, the player that looks most like Elanga, I'm not saying he's exactly like Elanga, but who looks most like Elanga in terms of taking people on down the wing, trying to get in and cross the ball in, is Hutchinson.
He looks better.
He looks better. But some of the crosses he puts in are class. He's always on the ball down that right-hand side. The amount of crosses he puts in when he only comes on for like 10 minutes is he's putting in more crosses in that 10 minutes than the whole game.
Let me ask you, Ben, who do you think's better?
I think Hutchinson
at Forest.
Well,
I actually now. And let me put a poll in the chat. By the way, 94% of you would start him tomorrow. But
I think that the potential that Hutchinson has is amazing. And I think actually that we haven't really seen it yet, but when Baka comes back, if you have Baka and Hutchinson as those wingers, I think that'll be brilliant. But the other thing is that nobody's worked Hutchinson out. I'll bring Callum Hudson-Odoi into the conversation. Brighton against Callum Hudson-Odoi, that they had his trick summed up. He presses RB shoot. They've already cut inside. Every single time he drops his shoulder to the right, he tries to invert, and every single time that they knew what he was going to do. We need to change it up. We need to get Hutchinson starting so that he's not just being used as this so-called super sub when it's too late. We need to try and start scoring more goals, and he's got to start against Wolves, surely. There's no reason why he shouldn't be starting against Wolves.
I'm hearing positive signs that he is going to start. And I've been making sure I can scream at everyone who can hear me about him starting. So there is good signs about him starting. There's 300 of you guys in here, 80 likes. Please hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're new as well. Let's just catch up on the super chats. Big up to Anthony becoming a member. Absolute legend. That's making me hungry, man. Those chips look pretty good, man. Shout out to you, Anthony. Big up to the lovely Jess. She says with her £2, Hutchinson needs to start. I think you may be pleased tomorrow, Jess. I think so. Thank you for the £2. She then goes on to say, I mean, we paid the money, played the man. That is true, man. Is he actually our record signing? It depends what you say about the Gibbs-White money.
Wasn't it? It was 37 million. So technically, yes.
Technically, but we paid bare add-ons.
Yeah. Gibbs-White add-ons took him to 42, didn't it? Or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, are you through the super chats? So you got a few more.
One more from the lovely Jess again with the £2. She says Hutchinson and Wood link up would be insane. I'm not convinced we're seeing Wood this side of Christmas. I'll be honest.
No, I'm not convinced Wood will come back and be the same Chris Wood.
Yeah, I hope he's fit for the World Cup.
he will be fit, but that might actually play on his mind. Now, I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying, do you think that would play on his mind? Like, I mean, is he going to sacrifice 3 months?
The guy that's paid £100,000 a week, right? So by the end of this season, we might have paid him £5 million to score those 2 goals on the opening day and then be injured because of New Zealand.
You want to know what's more shocking than what you just said on that? He scored 2 more goals than any other striker in the Premier League for us.
I know that.
Like we're really lacking in goals up front, boys.
This is it. I mean, last season. His strike rate was the highest in Europe. So we weren't creating loads of chances, but he was putting them away. And now we're not creating the chances, and there's no one there to put them away. There's a lot of problems in comparison to what we saw last season. But I just want to go back on what I was saying about Hutchinson. I can remember when I did those 3 words about each player. What did I say about him? Shagging someone's missus. I don't think that's any different. I still don't understand why he's not starting now. If he's got him ready to be starting tomorrow, and then perhaps getting getting a start against Everton as well, maybe getting an hour to 90 minutes in that game as well, then I can kind of understand it. But I still don't get. I know he's saying he's trying to get players fit for the job rather than fit on a job, but I still think he's being too cautious with certain players, and we haven't got the time. I don't think we've got the luxury of having to being able to ride it out. We've got this Christmas period coming up, and then followed by January, where we're going to start losing our AFCON players. We will start discussing that soon as well, because I think you mentioned earlier, Wolfie, about
I don't think Aina's going to go
soon. Yeah, the squads are going to be announced soon. So if whoever's in the squad, you're expecting to lose them for that January period. So there are going to be some big changes coming up. Maybe this is how he's just trying to manage his squad, and obviously with the injuries and stuff. But obviously in games like on the weekend, we're sorely lacking. We could have been battered. But after that first half, we could have been a lot worse than 2-0. I think 2-0 flattered us, to be honest. But I say he's got to be looking forward, and I think he's just kind of putting all his eggs in maybe a couple of baskets with these 2 games coming up, and plus a European game. So we've got a really busy week with some very important games. But I think maybe in reflection are more important than the Brighton game that we didn't get anything out of on the weekend.
But Wolves are what? Are Wolves last in the table? 2 points.
Yeah. Still no wins. 2 points.
Please stop saying that. Please stop saying that.
Yeah, we'll start their season. We always
No. There's no way Wolves are beating us. They haven't won a single game in 13.
Oh God.
Well, we shouldn't be. Should they?
They won't beat us, Rob. They won't beat us. They won't beat us.
Just randomly, right? This is completely off topic. Sorry, some Man City fan tagged us up and Ben Jacobs up on Twitter saying that between me and Ben Jacobs, we've said that Anderson's going to leave for 50 million. He has a release clause of 50 million.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I don't know where you got that from. But it's all bollocks, by the way. I don't know who that City fan is that did it or whatever, but cool. So, yeah, fake news about fake news or whatever, just to let you guys know. I spoke to Ben Jacobs as well. He even got to him. He's like, he's been getting hundreds of messages about where did you say 50 million? So don't believe that stuff. Sorry, I interrupted someone who was talking.
Well, I was just saying, like, moving on to Wolves.
Oh yeah, but it was we forgot Ez's birthday yesterday. Big up, Ez.
Right. Happy birthday!
I bought you a birthday present. I got you a forest hat.
Are you returning that? Are you?
I got you a nice forest hat for your birthday, bro. What's that? What film's that from? Old School, where he gets the toaster or whatever it is. It gives us anyway. We digress. It was Ed's birthday yesterday. He is now officially 50 years old, half a century old.
I could get away with it.
Yeah.
You don't look a day over 49 to me, Ez.
Thank you.
If you want to know which Forest player really does follow Man City, then search through Chris Wood's tweets from about 2013, like me and Wolfie did. He is
a Man City fan.
He's a proper Man City fan. He is like a bit like Hans.
But then the Man City fans, and I know a few of you were messaging and putting in the comments, like, have a word with LB. Why is he going on that Anderson has said he wants to go to Man City and all this? I did have a word with LB, and he's like, well, you know, that's what I'm hearing. I'm like, bro, he actually speaks. Hey, you, Martin, what's your tongue? What's your tongue, mate? Like, I don't look old anymore. I got rid of the beard.
Oh, yeah,
you have, bro. I was going to cuss you. You should have gone through with it, man. But I do know what you mean. It does go to one side when you're growing it too.
Right, it was like lopsided. But that was when I
haven't really got rid of it. You've only gone from Jose Sarr to Ange Postecoglou. It's not.
Yeah, but I wanted to see Wolfie the Ayatollah, man. I wanted that.
It was pretty low. You look like Gandalf.
I look like Gandalf now.
Not now.
I gotta say, I look like 23 years old max now.
You do look younger.
Max, absolutely max. Anyway, no, it was, and apparently Anderson started to follow Man City on socials. It's like, wow, oh my god, you know, this is the whole thing coming up. All right, we know it's his birthday. All right, my god, man, why are you lot giving him so much love, man? I didn't get this many messages for my birthday the other week. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, look, we kind of talked about the game. Let's move on to talk about Wolves. While we're doing that, chat, make sure you've hit the like button. 71% of you would rather have Hutchinson than Elanga. And I would agree with the 71%. I think for me, Elanga was a pace merchant, but not a Jono style pace merchant. He still had two good feet and could score a goal and what have you. I just think we've upgraded each time. I love Jono. And then I thought Elanga, after Cooper went, really kicked in. And now I just think Hutchinson just fucking played.
He's got the techers. He's got the techers.
But is there any changes you would like to see for tomorrow, Ben? Should we do team sheets? You guys gonna argue if I bring team sheets up? I don't know.
Can we agree on who we think's going to be fit and who isn't beforehand?
Okay, I can tell you exactly who's fit and who isn't. So
Gorilla and Morgan Gibbs-White both fit, aren't they?
They are.
I think so.
They better be. They better be.
Okay, even Ez can't say they're not, or can say they are. Or
I said they
were.
Yeah,
and you were wrong. So look, in terms of who's going to be out, Baka is out. Apparently, Douglas Luiz is the closest one to full fitness, so he should be back soon.
Who did he say was back on the grass? Because I can't remember who.
Douglas Luiz. They're all kind of back on the grass, but they're on different grasses.
Douglas Luiz was like back on the grass, but he's gonna be a while. Yeah,
he's still not running diagonals. You know what I'm saying? Still straight line. So it's still wow. So in essence, long story short, basically add Murillo to what you had last weekend.
Okay. Can we bring the team sheet up?
Yeah, I'll bring it up. Look, let me. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna make this as diplomatic as I can. So let's do it like this. Okay. Oh shit. Where are we? There. Okay. So I'm gonna say before you lot start talking, I'm gonna say he can piss off. I'm gonna say this is the team. What you changing?
Well, that what you've just done there is chosen the exact same team I picked last week. So
yeah, just have that.
That would basically be my team as well. The only thing I would consider, but I probably wouldn't actually do it, but the only thing I would consider is dropping Jesus into the 10 and putting Kalimuendo up front, because I think that could work quite well. Jesus is always coming back quite deep. I think he could work as a 10, and we need firepower on the pitch, so why not give Kalimuendo a try? However, saying that, that's my team from last week, and at the moment, with the players injured, I think that's the best team on paper.
Yeah, I'm glad you corrected yourself here, because MG dub against Wolves every day of the week, mate.
Exactly. Why would we not have him against
Wolves?
I'm
not saying I would drop in. I'm just saying at one point I wouldn't mind seeing Jesus in the 10, not against Wolves, but we need goals, don't we? So that, I mean, that is literally my team as well. That's the team I chose last week, so I'd carry on with that.
It was a team I went with as well. So yeah, definitely. Unless Rob's got an objection,
no, you didn't. You had Endoy on the left. You had Endoy on the left, Des.
No, I didn't. I had
yeah, you did.
Yeah, I had Endoy on the left. Yeah. Last week. Yeah. Who's better on the left than he is on the right for sure.
But I would say that is the position of contention. By the way, chat, rate this team out of 10 for what's available. Is that what you'd go with? I think that's the only position of contention, in my opinion. Him or Endoy on the left. I'm you guys, Hudson-Odoi isn't doing it for me right now.
No, I agree. He's just trying the same thing again and again, and teams are finding him out.
I wish you would try it more. I wish you would try it more. He does it about once a game, it doesn't work, and then he doesn't try it again.
I can't wait for Baka to come back. I think, can I just say, if you put
Baka to be so enamored with him, he's not. No, I'm sorry.
I think this is
who aren't there thinking they're going to be the solution again.
He is.
I think he is the solution, though. I think our best team on paper. If you forgot about all the injuries, our best team on paper would be Hutchinson on the left, Bakwa on the right, and Dougie Luiz for Sangare.
No, that's based on sentiment. That's not based on maybe for Douglas Luiz, but Bakwa isn't based on anything other than you're saying you think he's going to be better than Endoy. You haven't seen enough.
Baller heads, man.
I don't think he's going to be better than Endoy. I know he's going to be better than Endoy.
Yeah, he was a baller in the Farmers League, man. I haven't seen it in the Premier League. I'm sorry. You keep going on about him, but I haven't seen it in the Premier League. He was turning.
He's injured, man. What do you want me to do? I'm not playing for him.
When he did play, shut up. When he did play, he had Bonnie Tyler settings, like we've already discussed. He couldn't go forward. He couldn't take a man on. He decided in the first game to show all his tricks off, and then nothing since. So
remember his very first touch at Arsenal. Remember the very first touch,
and that's it. That's all you saw.
There you go, baller, man.
Obviously, he's better than Endoy. Obviously, I mean, I'd start Rob over.
Whoa. Crypto, you really need to rewind, man. You were bigging up Endoy so much about his I don't give a damn about his international career. Exactly. Shut up. You're bigging him up big time. You only have to go back a couple of weeks.
Not about his Forest performance.
Yeah, you're going on about his I don't give a damn about his international career. I'll give a damn about what
I'm not like you and Rob, who have a problem with every country. So
he scored against Germany.
Exactly.
Do you remember who else used to do that for Switzerland?
Yeah, Freuler.
Yeah, the ghost.
Yeah, the ghost.
So
I'm just saying. I'm not saying Endoy's crap. Okay, and I am saying Bakwa has been crap. But you got to remember, Bakwa pretty much played all his games under. I think every game was under Ange Postecoglou, wasn't it? Did he get any minutes under Nuno?
He got some under Nuno, didn't
he? He came on at the end of that Arsenal game. Did he play anything else?
No, that was his debut. I'm pretty sure that was his debut.
He played since then.
Yeah, so there you go. He played against. I'll tell you where he did look good.
Sunderland,
and I know the chat are going to be like, that's his level. He played well against Swansea. He absolutely roasted Swansea down that right side.
Yeah.
And then he played crap against. I can't remember who we had after that. But
can we just revert also to, because Rob is saying he'd choose this team, but last week he said he'd have Yates in for Morgan Gibbs-White. So what's happened there?
No, you idiot! I said I was assuming that Morgan Gibbs-White was injured.
I've had a quick look at Wolves over the last few games. They're playing with a back five. I'm not talking back three. They're playing a back five, a flat.
They did at home against Palace, but it looks like away against Villa they played a 3-4-3. Am I wrong? And by all accounts, they gave Villa quite a good game.
Yeah. They took the lead, but it was disallowed. That will be
very deep, that's for sure.
Well, this won't be. I mean, they're predicting.
Well, they haven't scored since they played Burnley in October. So
I'll tell you what. Let's look at their actual previous.
We shouldn't be setting up to contain them. We should be setting up to attack
and pressing high as well, because they're going to be trying to play out.
They play the Amorim Glasner formation under plucky Rob Jones. For me, their two best players are Gomez and Andre. Andre's the one we nearly got. We nearly got him. I'm really annoyed we didn't get him because I rate him.
Gomez.
Andre.
Okay, yeah.
The Brazilian.
I mean,
I don't think we would. The other one who I don't think he's been that hot this season, but was really good last year was Larson. There was a few in the chat that saying they would have taken him. Arias is good as well. But I don't know.
That Bellegarde one, the one who's like proper rapid.
He was the one who scored against us, didn't he, last season?
He's quite good. He looked good against us, he did.
Wait, is he the one who scored that worldie that Rob said Salzburg with his wrong hand on?
Yeah.
Really
we got that João Gomez as well, who's very decent as well. But we should be able to.
The worldie was Cunha before they sold him.
No. When we drew with them last season, early doors, 1-1, they scored a well. I'm sure it was them.
Wasn't that Cunha?
It was Bellegarde.
No.
That was Bellegarde.
Chat, who scored it? Someone on in the chat.
We've already said it 20 times.
But the thing, you're right, as it was him. But is this team as bad as they show in the league?
Of course they are. It's confidence, isn't it? It's how we were under Ange. There's no confidence. And we've just got the new manager in who's got the best tier in the Premier League again. So Rob Edwards, isn't it? Rob Edwards, best tier in the Premier League. But there's no manager bounce so far. This will be his third game, I think, since taking over. I don't know. There's obviously been a few changes in their setup, but I still think they're going to be very deep, and it's up to us to go and attack them. So this is going to be one of those games where we're probably going to get a lot of the ball high up, and we just got to find a way of breaking them down, because otherwise I think they're going to hit us on the counter-attack. So if that's the threat, I think an early goal is really important tomorrow night for us.
But when you look at where they've won their points, it's all against the teams that you would put who have those similar traits to us. You know what I'm saying?
What points? They're 2 points.
Yeah. They got one at Spurs and was it West Ham, the other one?
I don't know. I really
Chat, who did they get their other point?
I think you're clutching at sports here. 2 points in 13 games. They've had 2 draws. There's not much of a pattern to recognise there.
I'm just saying, I just know our club. That's what I'm saying. Remember when West Ham were crap? They came to us. You lot were saying, by how much? By how much? Not if we're going to win. Remember that? Is this Forest? Hello?
Yeah, but our manager wanted to go to West Ham.
You'll never guess who Wolves got a draw against.
Spurs.
Brighton, yeah.
Was it Brighton? Yeah. Shut up.
Spurs, Brighton and Spurs. Yeah.
Was it Brighton?
Yeah, well, we play nothing like Brighton, so that's fine.
So are you not worried at all?
Huh? No, I'm not worried at all. I think we'll keep a clean sheet.
Wait, you said 8-0 at the weekend though, Ben.
No, that was for Brighton.
Yeah, I know. What happened to that?
Well, they were only 6 goals off it. I wasn't far off.
Spurs and Brighton. I'm boys. I'm a little worried. I just I think we should win, but we could do a Forest.
This game is the equivalent of taking a penalty. You should score it, but to mess it up would be catastrophic. It is, isn't it?
What was the XG on the penalties? It was like
0.75 or 0.7, something between 0.7 and 0.7.
Yeah, I'll take that XG tomorrow. But
Honestly,
we should win it. On paper, we should win it. On the pitch, we should win it. They're so low on confidence. The only thing they can hope for is that this manager bounce comes in for them sooner or later. But let's hope it's one more game away. But we should win tomorrow, man. We can't go into it the players certainly can't go into it thinking that we can lose it. We should be thinking we can win this game. And looking at the record, like Rob says, man, 2 points out of 13. It's more than appalling.
It's not out of 13, out of 13 games, you mean?
13 games,
would they even do very well in the Championship right now? Honestly,
no,
because
I don't think so.
I would be more worried about playing an inform Championship side than this, quite honestly.
It's what I'm talking about. What about Swansea, Chesterfield, Birmingham, West Ham? All should have been easy wins.
Talking about pre-season friendlies there.
Well, Swansea wasn't pre-season. West Ham wasn't pre-season. Look, I was just going to say something profound, and I've forgotten. Oh, I've got a stat for you. That's one of my feeling stats, which hopefully the chat will correct me. I don't think we've won at Molineux since we've come back up.
Nonsense. We won last year.
Oh yeah, okay, forget that stat.
Yeah, that was That's great. Next time,
my memory's going, man.
Talking about
we won 3-0, didn't we? 3-0.
No, was it? Oh yeah, Taiwo scored it. Yeah, it was 3. Yeah.
Wait, did Taiwo score it?
Yeah.
Is Taiwo available tomorrow?
No, he's out. He's out. Thank you, Tony. Yeah, thank you, Stuart. Wait, that was at Molineux,
yeah.
But I'm telling you, ask me about a game in like 93 or 94, and I can tell you the minute of the goal, man. Ask me something in this last year. It's like crazy. Hey, Nathan, shut up.
Watch-alongs every single game. I mean, really.
You know what it is? It's just the same pattern, isn't it? Forest defend, counter. Was that the one where Ward-Prowse could have scored, but he just gave Taiwo the goal?
No, I think Taiwo was in a better position.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it the one where Taiwo scored really late?
Yeah, it was a great pass. It wasn't late goal.
It's the one where Hudson Endoy developed pace and skinned his man down the left.
In that game as well. I've got a feeling that
Gibbs-White scored, I think, from a corner. Gibbs-White scored from a corner, I think, and then Hudson Endoy cut it back to Wood, and then Taiwo scored right at the end.
Sometimes your memories is like it amazes me. I can't even remember what Morgan Gibbs-White looks like.
I can't. I remember 3-0 now. You know what I do remember? They missed about 20 sitters, man.
They did. Strand Larson, actually.
Yeah, Strand Larson, wasn't it?
Oh, yes. Now I remember. Yeah, he did. Early on, and then we got into the game. Yeah, so we should have been 2 or 3-0 down before we even scored our first goal. So, yeah, you're right. Now I remember little bits. But, yeah, it's just like, honestly, ask me anything about last season, and I have to. When Rob said, we won 3-0, I thought, I'm not even going to question it. It's probably right.
Yeah, no, I remember 3-0. They went my stat. On the Peter Taylor stand update, we will do a separate video on it. I don't know if anyone's kind of gone through all the details or anyone wants to have a quick say about it. It's going up to 45k, but we'll break it down in a full video.
Based on ticket sales for current home matches, I think we'd struggle to fill 45k. That's for sure. There's
these prices.
Shut up, Rob, man. I'm talking. The last match I looked at, there was about 100 tickets available. None of them were pairs, but there was a lot left. So 45,000 is like what, a 14,000 rise
at these prices.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say supply and demand.
Drop the prices, Rob?
Yes.
Do you think drop the prices?
Well, I'd like to see some games. I'd like to see some tickets for under £50 for anything. When did it all? You can't get in the ground for less than £50 unless somebody knows somewhere where you can.
Yeah,
No,
away from
we're
home.
the cheapest. Yeah, we're the cheapest.
I
Yeah,
mean,
away from home.
within the past couple of seasons, I've paid £35 to watch Forest. Now it seems to just be 55, and that's okay. So I think it's we have priced our tickets for the capacity that we've got. Now I'm sure that the club will never cut the prices, but once we've got this 45,000, I think that they're going to have to think about some concessions or kids for £1 or whatever. Because
when was the last time we had kids for £1?
That's like 20 years ago.
They should do. Because, quite frankly, I don't find it a very family-friendly atmosphere these days either. If I'm quite honest, maybe that's just what we've
had.
Capital one corner and all that. Rob.
You don't want it to be like an FA Cup crowd. Like, can't stand it.
Why? They're Forest fans, aren't they?
No, there is a balance. I understand what Ben's saying there. There was a couple of games under Nuno, League Cup games, weren't they? And the atmosphere was just so like.
I think it's more the organisation. There's the queuing that pisses everyone off because they're not used to when you should get there, when you should do.
I've sat next to a few people at cup games where they've clearly never been to even a football match before, and they're sat there spouting absolute drivel. And I mean, one of them actually got up and left at half time, like Ez does every game, because I was so sick.
I was going to say, if they're spouting drivel,
I don't know where you get that.
I was going to say, did you ever think it's because they're sitting next to you?
Yeah, exactly.
Did you wonder how they felt?
Half time, bro.
Could you imagine some poor like lifelong Forest fan flying in from, we'll say, New Zealand? Shout out to all the New Zealanders, and they just like, oh fuck me, look who I've got sat next. Especially if it's in the lower Cluffy as well, because we know how much Ben loves those seats.
And imagine it was your first ever game as well, and you stuck next to that.
And you stuck next to Ben, man. Who'd you rather be stuck next to Ben around?
Nav afterwards.
There is a point in this, though, which is that the club are acting as if everybody in Nottingham's income suddenly increased by 40%.
Yeah, but so are the government and the whole of the UK.
You've got four more home games in the Europa League as well. So you've got more games that you need to go to, and it's all 40% more expensive than last year. So
the parking.
You paid 50 quid. Don't forget your membership.
Don't forget your parking.
What's 50 times 19? So 20
times 19.
Yeah.
Just under.
So 20 times 50. 950 plus the membership. Yeah. Plus, if you want, it's over £1,000, like comfortably. Plus easily. Travel, food.
Yeah. The trouble is, if you start complaining about the ticket prices, you'll get some idiot come out and say, "Oh well, for the Premier League, we're actually one of the low." Yeah, we don't have tourists. We're not in London. We're not in Manchester, and we don't have tourists.
Okay? Who the hell goes to Manchester as tourists, bro?
I know people from the UAE.
Actually, Libyans do.
I've never met a Man United fan who doesn't live in London, or does not live in London. Sorry.
Saeed lives in Manchester.
He's the only. Well, I've never met him.
He's the fair.
I think you need to expand your circle of friends, Crypto.
I was gonna say. All right, let's get in. We've digressed there, but we'll do a separate video on all the update. I think it's going up to 45k, if I remember from what I read. Is that right? 45k capacity.
Yeah, 45 from 31.
Yeah.
They said they want to build the main stand up and fill in the corners at the Trent End, is what they said.
Just do it. Just get on with it.
That's all it needs. That's all it needs.
If they fill in the corner of the Trent End, they'll have the view that you've got behind you, Crypto, won't they?
That's not a bad view.
Yeah. I'm sat here now. This is real. This is real. Someone's at my door.
Supply and demand. If Premier League grounds ever fail to sell their tickets, clubs will consider lowering prices.
I've not known a club do that yet, so I don't know. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I can't see once you've got to that. And like Rob said, I mean, others will complain, but they're not the most expensive tickets in the Premier League. But obviously, it's been a sharp rise for us who've been used to. But even in the Championship, we were the highest ticket prices in the Championship, weren't we, for a long time?
Or even in League One. What are you talking about? League One was disgusting.
League One was disgusting. £25 or something, wasn't it?
Right, let's come on to that. Arsenal is £125. Right now, generally speaking, if you work in London, you get paid twice as much as you do in Nottingham. So let's say that the Nottingham version of £125 is £62.50. I would happily pay £62.50, which is what I'm paying now if Forest were clear at the top of the table, but we aren't.
So you're just a Glory supporter, not through thick and thin and all that. But you know what's funnier is the most expensive tickets are Spurs, and they won 4 games at home. Now I think it's Spurs now.
Well,
Spurs,
how many Koreans are not going to Spurs now?
Well, yeah, they lost the whole Asian market, didn't they? It's all moved to LA. So,
well, we lost the whole Australian fan base. We were on like 60,000 subscribers a few months.
Well, we lost the whole New Zealand fan base. Rob started
yeah.
No, there's still a guy commented earlier. I think we've still got one.
Big up to the New Zealanders. Anything Rob says is his own views.
He's not going to be here next week, is he?
All right, let's do predictions, chat. Get your predictions in for this game. Let's kick it off for you, Ben. Let's see what your weird prediction is going to be this time.
3-0. Can anyone hear Christmas music?
No.
Nope. It's just in your head, bro.
No, I just had a really random guy knock at the door dressed as Santa, and he's playing really loud Christmas music in the street. So,
are you sure it wasn't Santa? It could have actually been Santa.
Real Santa.
He's got a sleigh with him, I think.
All right, you're saying 3-0 Forest, yeah? Just to clarify, because I know you're going to try to say, well, I meant Wolves. All right, Ez.
Oh, look at this. Here he is.
Well, I can't go with my 0-0s anymore, can I? That voodoo's broken, so I'm going to have to go with an actual score. A professional 2-0 away from home, clean sheet, get the goal early on, and then another late one, so we don't have to have a heart attack for the last 20 minutes, and that would do me fine. But they're there for the taking tomorrow, and if we mess this up, mate, we've only got ourselves to blame. So 2-0, comfortable.
Just before I get Rob's one, shout out to Anthony. Apologies, I've been meaning to click on the super chats, but these lot just don't shut up. He says, does Sean Dyche know his strongest team? I don't think he can with the injuries that are still out, like the Douglas Luiz, backwards, Chris Woods, etc. So I think he's still a long way off knowing it. Shout out to Jess with the £5. She goes, I hate to say it, but I told you so about Hutchinson.
We've been saying it.
You got your Hutchinson tickets, by the way, like on football prizes. There's only 99 of them in total. And
I got a signed Hutchinson shirt.
Did you win it?
No, we didn't.
I didn't really.
Don't hang it up.
Don't heard about it. It's not.
Rob, what you said?
I think it'll be a real scrap, but it should be a 1-0 to us. And we'll be annoyed that we had such a horrible last 15 minutes when we should have pressed on and gone 2 or 3-0 up. But we'll probably get 1 and then we'll sit back. And we'll say
that weirdly has given me so much confidence, because I think that's the first time you've predicted a win this season.
Nonsense.
It is nonsense, isn't it?
We predicted one for Brighton. Okay. I want to go and laugh at Spurs. I'm going to send you over to my mate Sean, big Spurs fan. Take the piss out of him. Everyone type Ange in his chat. Just go there, type Ange in there. So I think he's doing the watch along for it now. We'll be back tomorrow with the main event, Forest versus Wolves, or the other way around. Please do hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed. And we will see you tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.
You Reds.